Hello everyone, welcome to Java tutorials. In this session, we'll have a quick glance of how to use arrays in Java. So basically, if you consider previous programming languages such as C and C++, if you want to create an array and use it, it was just a simple line of code. For example, if I want to create an array of size 10 in C or C++, I will declare it like this: int a of 10. And then I can assign the values from index 0 to 9, because starting index is always 0 and last index is always size minus 1. So if I want to store the value such as 10 at index 0, I will write a of 0 is 10, then a of 1 equal to 20, a of 2 equal to 30. I can do this directly. Okay, but if we consider from Java point of view, in Java we cannot create an array something like this: int a of size 10. No, it will give me an error. Reason: in Java, arrays are considered in the form of an objects. So we need to initialize those objects. So before initializing that, we need to create an array. We need to tell the Java compiler that we are creating an array of this data type. So let us consider if we want to create an array, the same array of integer, and let's consider we keep the same name a. Then first we need to create it. Now for creation, we have two methods. One, you first specify the data type with the square bracket indicating it's an array, and then name of the variable. Or we can go in reverse way, specify the name of the variable, not variable, data type name, and then your variable name with the square bracket. Now this means you have just created an array. Now after creating an array, you cannot directly start with assigning like this, such as a of 0 equal to 10, or a of 1 equal to 20, or something like this, a of 2 equal to 30. No, you cannot do this directly. It will give you an array because you haven't specified the size of an array. You haven't initialized the array. So in order to use this, we need to initialize the array. Now initializing the array, it means it goes like this. Let us consider first how we have created int a of the square bracket. Okay. Then after that, we'll say a equal to, we have already created. Either we may go for this or by this method. Either of the method will be accepted. But after that, then you need to initialize it by like this: variable name equal to new, and then what are the data type? It was int, accepted. And then in the square bracket, you provide the size. Then here you can write 10 or whatever the size you are preferring. With this, then we can say our array is now created and initialized. Only then after, then you can proceed with assigning the values from index 0. Let's consider 0 consists of 10. At index 1, you may have 20 or whatever the value, and so on till the last index. And anyways, the last index will be always the size minus 1. So here last index will be 9. Whatever the value you may store, might be 100 or 1000 or whatever it may be. So basically, if we just compare this C and C++ with Java, there's a major difference of how we are gonna to initialize the array or create an array. Now here, this process is what we say we are initializing the array. Initializing the array. What we can do, we can combine this and this. These two things we can combine, and then what we can have is simply in one line as int. For either you can go with the first int square bracket and the variable name, or int, that is data type, variable name followed by the square bracket. Either of the method you can go, equal to new int, and then I'll provide the size. So let's consider 10. Okay, so now let us consider we create an array of size 10, and we'll store the values 10, 20, so on, and we'll display the same. Okay, so let's have a small program based on this. So let us say we create a class named sample, so public class sample or sample array, whatever the name you can give it. I prefer to use the word sample when it basically comes with an example. Okay, so let me save this. I need to save in one parent folder. Okay, so name of class is sample.java. Okay. So my parent folder is Java tutorials. Within that, I have one folder named arrays, and in that I saved this file sample.java. Okay. So with main method, let me maximize this. Public static void main string array args. Okay. Now in this, let us first create and initialize the array. Here we go. Int a. If I give semicolon, that means I have created it. And then I can go like this. A equal to new int of size 10. That means now I have initialized this. And thereafter I can do like this. A of 0 as 10. A of 20. A of 2 1 as 20. A of 2 30. Or something like that. Whatever the values. I'm just storing multiples of 10. Okay. So now what you can do is you can combine these two lines. Okay, what we'll do, we'll go with the combination. Let's combine this. Okay, and let's use one small logic over here. I want to store the values. So I require one variable, and I'll use one for loop. For I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, and I will save the values as E of I is the index. Logic what I'll use is I plus 1 into 10. That's it. So automatically the values 10, 20, 30 will get saved. And thereafter, let's consider we are displaying the displaying the components of the array, or whatever the values we are stored in the array, a value of the arrays. System.println component value stored in array. So let us /n, and let's consider, so we take some 2 tabs, and thereafter we'll display it. And for displaying, what we'll do again, definitely we require one loop, because we are gonna to scan the array from index 0 to last, that is size -1, so index 9 over here. So I less than 10, I plus plus, and let's say we write only system.out.print. We won't write println, else if you write println, what will happen? Everything will go on printed on new line. We want a stretch. So what we want to print I, not I, we want to print A of I. Let's have some space before it prints something else. Okay, so let's check with this. That's it. So let me, okay, I'm already in that folder. So let me compile this. Java say sample.java. Yeah, it worked. Let me maximize this. Okay, let me increase the font size as well over here. Okay, now let's execute this. Java sample. We get the value. Okay, what we can do is after this, this is not looking good because I'm getting the prompt on the same line. So what I do, before I close main method, I'll give one println statement. System.out.println. That's more than sufficient. Nothing to be written. This is what we are dealing is with only a single dimensional array. Okay, so there are basically 2 types of array. One is single dimensional array, and second is multi-dimensional array. The same way we'll go for the multi-dimensional. In that case, we need to provide the size of whatever the size. If you are going for 2D, then we can consider 2D array in the form of a matrix. rows and columns. Okay, let's go and complete this with first. Okay, let me compile. Yeah, I already have compiled. Now let me execute Java sample. Yes. So this is what we are basically dealing with a single dimensional array, or this is simply how we create and initialize your single dimensional array. The same concept we can have if you are going for some multi-dimensional array, or other words, what we can say 2D arrays. A 2D array, if for 2-dimensional, we can go for 3D arrays if you're going for 3-dimensional, and so on. For example, if you want to just create an array of 2-dimensional array, if you're going to create a 2-dimensional array, 2D array, same logic we'll use. We'll write like this: int size a. Again, it's a multi-dimensional, so you need to provide the size. Int let's consider, let a be the variable. We may have 2 square brackets equal to new. Now I'm doing what? I'm creating as well as initializing this array on the same line, and then int the size may be it's 10 by 10 is quite big. Let me consider it's 2 by, okay, so 2 rows, 2 columns. Again, if you want to store the value, we will go with a 0 0 will be the first, then a let's consider 0 1. I'm going row wise, then a 1 0 and a 1 1. These are the indices in which value can be stored. Again, that depends on application to application. So basically, if you have just a quick review on this array in Java, in order to create or use array, we need to first create and initialize. Creating an array, there are 2 methods. First, you can write down the name of the data type, int, let's for example, then you'll have the square bracket and then the variable name, or else we'll go other way: data type, that is int space name of the variable followed by square bracket. So that means you have created. After that, you're gonna to initialize. So creation and initialization, you can combine this the way we have done over here. Have we done? No, we haven't. So let's okay, yeah, we have done over here. So int a square bracket, that means we are having a single dimensional array, equal to new int, and then we'll provide the size. So starting index, as the basic programming, we'll have static index as index 0, starting index as 0, and your last index my spelling mistake, index will be always size minus 1. So here, if you are say size as 10, then your starting index will be a of 0, and last index or last position will be a of 9. Because of a of 10, it has some special character, say \0, indicating end of the array. So that's it for this session. In the case you have liked the video, then hit like and kindly subscribe. Thank you.